Hello friends, welcome to eLearning's forum. Today we are going to talk about IELTS listening test. Well, when we talk about IELTS listening test, there are a lot of suggestions available over YouTube. You should do this, you should do that, and so on. But we will talk about very practical and the simplest way to approach IELTS listening test. And to know this, we need to understand that what actually they look for in IELTS listening test. Well, it's to check how good you are in listening and understanding when you communicate with the native speakers. And to have better understanding over this, we should categorize this IELTS listening test in two aspects. First, what we need to do to develop our understanding. And the second aspect is, what are the things we should do for better results at the time of taking listening test? Well, first one is very simple, which requires only practice. When we say practice, it doesn't mean that you are going for an extreme serious practice, putting everything aside without proper insight. So, answer is no, we are not looking for such practice because it's just a listening test. For this, you need to involve yourself in the conversation with the native speakers. I'll repeat it to you. You just need to involve yourself in the conversation with the native speakers of English. Well, now you might have a question that we don't have anyone around to talk with, and that is a fact as well. I'll tell you something here. I didn't say you need to talk to somebody. I said involve yourself. So how can you do that? Well, I'll give you an example here for better understanding. Let's say you're giving a presentation and there are 100 people listening to you. Whatever information you're furnishing to them, or whatever ideas you're sharing with them, or whatever instructions you're giving to them, they are listening to it carefully and they will use all the knowledge and ideas at the time of execution. Means your instructions made a direct impact. Now, if we see the involvement of the people, then you were the only one person talking, but 100 other people were listening to you without speaking even a single sentence. Now, coming back to our primary discussion, when we say involving, it means you also need to do same thing by being a very good listener of the native speakers. So the next question is, how would you do that? What are the options? Well, till now, I hope you must have thought for some options. However, if not, then let's find a few. Well, you can listen to the conversation of the people. You can also watch any interview. You can also watch news. And the most interesting one is watching a movie in English, but you need to make sure you are watching it without subtitles. Or if you find something better than this, please write that in the comment below. It will be very much helpful for our other friends. Well, let's move further. When you do all these activities, pay attention and listen to them carefully and try to understand how they are talking. How are they pronouncing the words? And how are they saying the sentences? Actually, in listening tests, they just check your ability to understand after listening to the native speakers of English, nothing else. And this is what we are practicing here. We need to do it every day, at least for 30 minutes, for about 20 to 30 days, without any gap. Once you do this, trust me, you yourself will find a noticeable difference in your understanding of their accent and the way they communicate with the people. If you start understanding the conversation, it means you are being comfortable with the language. The more you practice, the more you will develop your understanding of their way of communication. And now, at this stage, we are ready to take our IELTS listening test. Now, let's talk about the other aspect. I'll tell you something. Even though all the sections have equal importance and we should give equal attention to all of them, however, if you dig down a little more, you will find out that listening is a little easier and scoring section. You can score 7, 8 or even more bands than that if you make 30 to 35 answers correct out of 40. And we all know there are 4 sections in it with 10 questions each. So, the first section is very simple because question will be around understanding an address, phone number, or name of the city, or name of a person, or something like that. So overall, it's going to be a normal section where you can score 10 out of 10. Now, second section is a little higher than the first one in terms of level of difficulty. And usually it is based on a conversation between 2 people on any general topic. Moreover, it will be based on exchanging the information. Now, what you need to do is listen to both the speakers carefully because information of your answer can be given from both the sides, either listener or speaker. So you just need to listen to them carefully and you'll be able to find the answer. Now, third section. Well, it might be a little challenging for a few people because this will be based on the conversation between 3-4 people talking and sharing information in a classroom or in a meeting or in a conference. So along with understanding, you should also have an idea what people are talking about. And the kind of questions you will get in this will be multiple choices. You might face questions based on the consequences of the conversation, their opinion on that discussion, agreement, or disagreement. So you got to listen to it carefully and understand everything properly before selecting your answer. Now, the fourth section. This section might be difficult for some people, but there is nothing to worry about. This is not difficult because you cannot understand. In fact, it is difficult because you could not collect the information properly. And that is very much possible if you give that test even in your local language. So this difficulty is not because of language, but it is because failing to receive the information. Because this section is based on lecture or a presentation or sharing a report or any theory or any research or something similar to this, where it becomes very important to notice and remember all the informations, because questions will be like giving an exact number or a word or something which is exact or specific, because in this section they check your ability to understand the gist of the conversation. So usually what happens that people miss the information and they go unable to understand it properly and they get less number of correct answers in that section. But problem of section 4 can be fixed if we practice proper and sufficient before taking listening test. You'll be habituated to collect the information from such conversation if you practice more. And what I believe is that the practice is the only key here in this to be comfortable when you go for some complex conversation and collecting information. So overall, I would say to improve your understanding by doing first step and then keep practicing with the second step. If you do both the things together, getting 8 or 9 bands is never a difficult task. Now, I will say thank you very much for listening to me. I really appreciate your patience. If you have any query, you can write to care@elearningsforum.com, or you can also drop a message over WhatsApp on the number given below. Our team will get in touch with you. If you also would like to improve your spoken English and communication skills, staying back home using your cell phone or laptop, attend our free demo session and discuss your problems with our trainers. They will help you to find the best solution possible. Now, if you like the video, give a thumbs up and share and subscribe. Look after yourself, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you very much.